Hello and welcome you in the course of Probability and Statistics. I am your instructor Hardik Joshi. Now in our previous lecture we have to see the basic concept and the property of the t-test, namely the student t-test, is also known as t-distributions. So in just we have to see there are say 3 applications of the t-test. So now precisely we have to start the first application of the student t-test, student t-distribution. So we have to start the first application. So the first application of the students t-distribution is the t-distribution is used as the sampling distribution. Now see carefully, this sampling distribution of the statistics is defined based on the random sample drawn from the normal population. So definitely it is clear that the t-test t-distribution is follows the normal distribution, that is data are distributed normally. If x1, x2 up to xn are n sample taken randomly from the normal distribution, now this can be read as capital N is stand for the normal distribution with mean mu and the variance is sigma square. So this can be read as the n observation is taken from the normal distribution with mean mu and the variance is sigma square. Now is taken from the populations. Then the first application, so we have to assign the suffix 1 is corresponding to first application. You have to simply write down t only. So t is equal to capital X upon square root of y upon n minus 1. Now is also equivalent to x bar minus mu upon sigma upon square root of n into sigma into square root of n minus 1 upon square root of sum of xi minus x bar whole square. These are nothing but the derivation of the t-test. So finally we have to remember this quantity. If you do not remember this portion, then it's okay, because we are not interested how the t-test is derived. Just we have to finally remember this concept. The t-test is equivalent, say x bar minus mu upon s upon square root of n, where x bar is the sample mean, mu is the population mean, s is the standard deviation of the sample and is calculated by using this formula, the sum of x minus x bar whole square upon n minus 1, where n is the total number of observation and this n minus 1 is known as the degree of freedom. So let's start the procedure how we can check the t-test. So the procedure, that is the testing of hypothesis, is almost same. There is just minor variation in how we can select the t-statistics. So the test of hypothesis for normal population means. So remember the first thing, t-test is applicable to check the mean. Now this test is particular when population variance is unknown. So step number 1, we have to identify the statistic parameter, that is mu, that is mean, sigma square, that is variance. Corresponding to that, we have to develop the null hypothesis. So null hypothesis we have to assume that is mu is equal to mu 0, that is the sample mean and the observed mean, that is both are not significantly different. That is why we have to consider mu is equivalent to mu 0. And now in the against of this null hypothesis, we have to develop the suitable alternative hypothesis. So there are 3 cases arise. First one, say mu is not equal to mu 0, that is two-sided test. Now the second one is mu greater than mu 0, that is one-sided, more precisely right-sided, and these are the left-sided one-tailed tests. Step number 2. Now remember this t-test is applicable for small sample, that is n less than 30, whereas z statistics which we have to already complete, is applicable for large sample, that is n is greater equal to 30. And these are our random sample x1, x2 up to xn. We have to take randomly from the normal distributions. Now, before checking the testing of hypothesis, definitely we have to identify the level of significance, that is alpha. It may be 1%, 5%, yeah, it may be anything, 10%, yeah, anything else. Now, here we have to choose the t statistics, that is x bar minus mu 0 upon s upon square root of n, where x bar is the sample mean, mu 0 is the population mean, s is the standard deviation, and n is the total number of observations. Same thing is reflected here, and n minus 1 is known as the degree of freedom. Step number 5, corresponding to the data, whatever you have to select, you have to calculate this observed t value, whereas is calculated from this formula, it gives the standard deviation. Now, step number 6, once we have to calculate the t value, then we have to compare this t value with the tabulated t value, and now the tabulated t value we have to take on from the t distribution table. So, whenever you have to check the value of t from the t distribution table, the two thing is important. The first one is n minus 1. Now, n minus 1 is known as the degree of freedom, where n is the total number of observation. So, degree of freedom is equivalent to total number of observation minus 1. Now, alpha is nothing but is level of significance. If it is a two-sided test, then we have to consider alpha by 2. If it is a one-sided test, then alpha is as it is. Finally, step number 7, we have to give our decision corresponding or basis of this calculated t value and tabulated t value. Yeah, sometimes is also known as O for observed t value, and these are experimental t value. If it satisfies this condition, then we have to say that the null hypothesis is reject, otherwise is not reject. So, let us see the example for better understanding of the procedure whatever we have to discuss. So, this first example tells that the average monthly sales based on past experience of a particular brand of toothpaste in a department store is 200 rupees. An advertisement campaign was made by the company, and then a sample of 26 departmental store was taken at random and found that the average sale of the particular brand of toothpaste is significantly increased from 200 to 216 rupees with standard deviation of 8 rupees. So, see carefully the data. The past experience suggests that the average of monthly sale of the departmental store is 200. So, these are the population mean. Now, they have to take a randomly 26 sample, and they have to observe that the sample mean is 216. If we have to, with standard deviation is rupees 8, if we have to say consider an advertisement for the toothpaste. Now, our aim is we have to check or test, does the campaign have help in promoting the sales of particular brand of the toothpaste. So, we have to check this claim of this departmental store. So, let us start the solution. First of all, we have to develop the hypothesis, that is null hypothesis H naught, that is the population mean is 200. That is the average monthly sale of a particular brand of toothpaste is not significantly differ from this 200 rupees. Now, alternative hypothesis. Here we have to consider alternative hypothesis is mu is greater than 200. The reason is because the average monthly sale of particular brand of toothpaste are significantly differ from 200 to 216 is given in the definition. That is a significantly increase, that is why we have to consider one-sided tail and more precisely right tail because it is increased. That is why we have to consider alternative hypothesis is one tail test, and more precisely right tail test, that is mu is greater than 200. So here we have to clearly mention it is one-sided right alternative hypothesis. Step number 2, we have to gathering the information, that is the number of observation, that is 26. Now the sample mean x bar is also given in the definition, that is they have to say expand some advertisement cones, then the increasing, that is average mean is increased 200 to 216. So sample mean is also given in the definition, with the standard deviation is ₹8. Now again the level of significance is 5%. Now it is given in the definition is well and good, otherwise as per your convenience either you have to go through 5% or 1% level of significance. Here we have to consider 5% level of significance. You may be consider 1% level of significance. Now we have to apply the first test t statistic, that is t is equivalent to x bar minus mu naught upon s upon square root of n. So next our aim is we have to calculate the value of x bar, that is sample mean. Now population mean is given in the question. Now sample mean is also given in the question, standard deviation and the total number of observation. So sample mean is 206, now population mean is 200, standard deviation is defined in the definition 8, and the total number of observation is 26. So by solving this we have to get the calculated value of t statistic is 10.20. Now here in this question we have to consider one-sided right alternative hypothesis at 5% level of significance. Now total number of observation is 26, that is n is 26, and we know that degree of freedom is total number of observation minus 1, that is 26 minus 1, so it leads to 25. So this degree of freedom is 25 and level of significance alpha is 5%. So we have to write down say t 25, 0.05, where 25 is the degree of freedom and 0.05 is the level of significance. So next our aim is we have to write down this value of t from the t distribution table, and we have to collect it from the t distribution table, and we have to observe that its value is 1.708. So right, what we have to done, we have to seen you how we can collect this t value from the t distribution table. So for that purpose we have to just remember this thing. We have to consider say one-sided test, these are the first thing. Next remember the degree of freedom is 25 and the level of significance is 5%. So I will show you how we can collect this value. So see here, these are the t distribution table. We have to consider one tail test, level of significance is 5%, and this first column df, that is degree of freedoms. So 25 degree of freedom, 5% level of significance and one tail test. So corresponding t value is 1.708. So we have to collect, or we have to take the t value from this way. So finally step number 7, that is we have to give our decision whether the null hypothesis is reject or not reject based on this, the observed t value is greater than experimental t value or not. So finally in step number 7 we have to give our decision on the basis of this, observed t value is greater than experimental t value or not. So we have to obtain the observed t value is 10.20 and the experimental t value, that is nothing but this calculated t value which we have to taken from the t distribution table is 1.70. So definitely 10.20 is greater than 1.70. So it indicates that the given sample contains sufficient evidence to reject H0. If this condition is satisfied, it means that there is enough evidence we have to collect to reject the null hypothesis. Hence the campaign has helped in promoting the increase in sale of particular brand of the toothpaste, because we have to assume the null hypothesis in the against of this. So thank you so much for paying your attention.